Here we go, unplanned, unrehearsed, not dressed up in a suit and tie, chilling. Hollywood, California, 8:57 a.m. on Tuesday, February 21st. How the hell are ya? It's your pal Malan with a quick monster cheers. Yeah, I still drink these. Not as much, but I still do. What's up, guys? I didn't post a video yesterday because, tell you the truth, I met with a guy this weekend. I hope you had a great weekend. I haven't seen you since last week. And I met with a friend of a friend this weekend. My friend, when marijuana was legalized in Colorado, he and a bunch of friends moved there, started a company, and now they're making THC cannabis products, oils, waxes, vapor pens, vape oils, all this kind of stuff. They're in the business now. We were talking, and we ended up setting up an appointment for me to meet with his California rep to try some of their stuff. And I ended up getting some product from him and trying it, and it was strong. It was really, really, really strong. I just barely tried it, just enough, but I could tell, like, whoa, this is way different than what I'm used to. And yesterday in the morning, I think it was after I went to the gym, I tried a little bit more, and it put me in a black hole for the day. And I wasn't able to do a video. I could have probably done it. It would have been funny, but my head was just in another direction. I played a lot of guitar. I wrote some music. I was reading a book. I just did things to entertain myself. But, turning on the camera, I just didn't feel like doing it. But today I wanted to catch up and just catch up with you, see how you're doing. I had a good weekend. It's still raining here in LA. The sky is gray, filled with clouds, lots of just pouring rain. It's funny, man. Just a few weeks ago, California was talking about, my family members were contacting me saying, you guys are going to die out there in the drought. And I'm like, yeah, man, we're in big trouble. There's no water. There was this big drought happening. They were making people, you couldn't water your lawn. They were asking all residents of Los Angeles to stop taking showers, don't water your lawn, like take shorter showers, like all this stuff. And then, a few weeks later, there's so much rain that dams are about to burst. Like they evacuated an entire city because they thought the dam was going to burst because now there's so much water. Turned out it didn't burst, and everyone went back into their homes. But they had to evacuate for 24 hours. But it's funny how the tides change. That's life, man. There's a drought and then a flood. And when you're in the drought, you think, oh my God, we're going to die from the drought. And then the rain comes, you're like, we're saved. And then it turns into a flood. Then you go, oh my God, the flood's going to kill us. And then the rain stops and the sun comes out. And you go, oh, it's beautiful sunshine again. And then it starts to become a drought. And you go, oh my God, we're going to die. And then the rain comes. And the cycle kind of fixes itself. I think that's how my whole life has worked. Just from one panic to the next. I laughed when I said panic because that was kind of the tagline of a band I was in called Born a Number. We called our album Panic. And we used to just say that all the time. Like my friend Cody and I, we'd look at each other, the song would end and we'd look at each other and go, panic. It could be good or bad or whatever. But life is like, it is possible to just go from one panic to the next panic, and then when that panic's gone, you find another one, and then you panic about the next thing. It can go on and on forever. I'm as guilty of it as anyone. I wish I was better at realizing how good things are right now, no matter if there's, problems or whatever. Like this morning, I woke up. Every once in a while, this happens to me all the time. I live in this apartment with huge windows and an amazing view. And sometimes I get so lost in my head and locked into these thoughts of things that are going wrong, or I'm staring at the phone for an hour looking at Facebook or whatever. And I just go into this dark hole, like feels like nothing's working. And then I look up and I see where I actually am. And I go, wait a minute. Oh yeah, things are amazing. Everything I wanted is happening. I dreamed of living in Hollywood, California on Sunset Boulevard since I was maybe 11. And now I'm here. And I didn't really plan it. I didn't like set a goal to, I'm going to live on Hollywood. I'm going to live in Hollywood someday and then start working towards it. I just kind of stumbled along making every mistake, and things were terrible and this and that. And then I ended up here. And I look around and it hits me. I'm like, wow, things are beautiful. Way better than I think. Because the truth is, no matter how good things get, and this is one of my jokes, that you could put me on this is a semi-true story. You could put me on a beach on the most beautiful island in the world, in the most beautiful hotel on the beach, with the most beautiful girl you can imagine, with no responsibilities, with all the money you need. And I could still wake up in the morning, my brain will say, kill yourself. Everything is wrong, and it'll find those things that are wrong. You know what I mean? So things can be going perfectly, but the brain will focus on one thing like, what about this? You go, oh God, yeah. Oh yeah, what about this other thing? You know, and it'll kind of remind me of some tiny little things to panic about. But no matter how good things get, you can always find something to worry about. Feel free. You can also choose not to worry about them, is the amazing part. Like whatever you're freaking out about right now, it may not be that big of a deal. Like I always say, 10 years from now, you look back at what's happening, and this whatever was so important to you, boyfriends, girlfriends, a car you wanted or a car you can't pay for, or whatever it is, something you're trying to accomplish, you'll look back in 10 years and go, oh, that was really no big deal. I shouldn't have panicked about that. You know, a court case, in my opinion, in my case, in my experience, there was a court case I almost was going to shoot myself over or move to Cambodia. I don't know if I've ever told that story, but I really researched these things because this court case had me so scared. And luckily, I faced the music. I didn't shoot myself. I didn't go to Cambodia. I went to court and ended up, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. And now when I look back, I'm like, oh, thank God I didn't freak out over that. So just food for thought. This is, again, just me talking to myself, and I hope it helps other people. But things are good, man. Like if I choose to see the things that are good, things are good. For example, I just made a Facebook event, and I'm playing my first show in LA. I've been here 8 years. I'm playing my first, I think it's the first live show. Yeah. And it's going to be great. It's with two friends of mine. It's going to be a bunch of Oklahoma guys playing in LA. It's going to be great. It was through a friend named Eric, and he was from a band that was also in Tulsa, where I came from. And they were a huge band at the time called The Hero Factor, and they were fantastic. I loved them. They started to take off like as in a big way, signed a deal, did some national touring, and then it kind of fell apart like some bands, you know, it just happens that way sometimes. It's weird how many bands break up right when they start to accomplish all their goals. Like when all the dreams come true, someone quits, or it falls apart, or someone gets mad. It's weird to watch how many bands I've seen in my life that have made it. You know, they sign a deal with Columbia Records or Warner Brothers or whatever, and everybody goes, that's it, they did it. And then, you know, 2 months later, they're done, completely over. It's weird. But anyway, he's a great guy. We've hung out a little bit here in LA, but we haven't done any music together. And we're going to start jamming together. We're going to try to get together this week, but we're definitely playing a show together. March 13th at a place called Ham and Eggs in Los Angeles. I've never been there. I looked it up online. Looks small, like kind of a punk rock venue. It's called Ham and Eggs, and we're going to play. It's going to be his band, which is called Mason Prophet, and me, and a girl named Katie J, I believe her name is. I don't know her. But what's cool is another Oklahoma guy named Chris Combs is going to be flying in to do some recording with some other people during that time. And so he's going to sit in and play with us. He's probably going to play my set, and he'll probably play on Eric's set as well. Hell, we may all play on each other's sets. I have no idea. But I'm excited to have it booked. Like, I was very tentative about the whole thing. Like, I'm not ready. I don't like this club. What if they don't have the right reverb on the PA? Who's the sound man? How's this all? And I started coming up with all these excuses. And then I thought, just screw it. Like, let's do it. Not only let's do it, I'm going to go in there and destroy the place. I'm going to terrify these people. And what's funny is now that I had a show booked, I picked up my guitar the other day and started writing a song. And it changes your mindset when you're writing. Like, this was, now that I'm going to be performing in front of people, I wrote a song that's more of a performance as opposed to like an art project. You know, because some songs you write as an art project, they're not going to work live. But when you know you're going to be playing live, you start to write songs. I start to write songs that are more of a confrontational type of song. Like I'm going to sing louder. The words are going to be a little edgier. And I'm looking for stuff that people that don't know me, because no one here knows me. So I'm writing songs that if you don't know me, there's a good chance when I say these words, and it's going to be loud, and you're going to turn your head and go, what the hell is this guy doing? And then I have a chance. But it's funny how the mindset changed on the songwriting. But I'm excited about that. It's been a long time coming. Not that I would change anything, man. I mean, taking the last several years off of music is probably the best decision I ever made. Probably saved my life. Really allowed me to focus on setting myself up financially, emotionally, sobriety-wise, like the drinking thing. Like, it's been long enough that I don't feel that going into a bar and playing music is going to threaten, like there's no chance I'm going to drink. Because for the first few years of sobriety, that's kind of an issue. You don't want to play shows the first few years because you're surrounded by alcohol. And it's all free, right? Most of the time. People give it to you. Sometimes the bars pay you in drinks, you know. But now I feel confident on all that stuff. It's all good. So I wouldn't change anything for the world. And I'm excited. It's going to be the first one. So if you're in LA, March 13th, get here. Come to Ham and Eggs, and I'll sing you some songs. It's going to be the first step on a journey, man. And we're going to see what happens. Really cool to be doing it with myself and two other Oklahoma guys. Katie, I don't know where she's from. So Katie, if you see this, you got to let me know. But it should be good. Eric's stuff is always good. He's really a great songwriter. And I'm excited to do it. So that's all, man. I've got my It Will Be Okay t-shirt on. Everything's going to be all right. If you want one of these, go to malandarras.com/shirt. And it'll link to my store where I have some t-shirts. If you don't want one, that's fine too. But I love these. They're tri-blend. They fit really well. I'm loving it. Some people are sending me in photos of them wearing the shirts. And I'll share those online at some point as well. Anyway, that's all I have for now, man. If you want to stay in touch with me, use the links in the description. The Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, all that stuff's in there. I'll also link to the Facebook event for the show. And I'll probably do another YouTube video specifically about the show at some point. But really today, I just wanted to check in with you guys. Say hello because I missed you yesterday. Last week I did Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and that felt pretty good. I'm not saying I'm going to stick to that schedule, obviously, because today's Tuesday, but I try to do a few a week for sure. I love this format, just talking, pretty much a podcast. This may turn into a podcast at some point. I love podcasts. I watch probably 4 hours of Joe Rogan and Joey Diaz every day. I love the format. I love podcasts. But anyway, that's all I'm doing, man. So cheers to you. Happy Tuesday. Boom. If you're having a hard day, remember, Uncle Malan loves you. And I'm just a knucklehead with no high school diploma and a drinking problem and a broken leg and a past full of disasters and clusterfucks and jail sentences and rehabs and mental institutions. And if I can make it, so can you. I mean, look, if I can do it, you can too. That's all I have. It's 9/11, 911. It's an emergency, and it's time to go. That's all. See you next time, and as always, I will see you in the future.